What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Chris back again with another video for you guys today. In this video I want to discuss Bundesliga team of the season that is finally here. I want to go through things all around the market and things you guys could be expecting, and also the team itself and what we kind of saw in the market today as well. So if you guys do enjoy this type of content, make sure you guys do drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here as well. I would also like to point out as well, I'm going to probably plug this a few times in my videos, but come check us out on the Twitch channel. We stream every single day, 3 to 5 hours. It's a lot of fun. We do packs, we do trading, we do investing, talk about the market, and we also do gameplay on the weekends. So if you guys want to come through and, you know, chill out for a little bit, you know, my Twitch channel is in the description as well. Make sure you guys go and follow that channel. And make sure you guys are subscribing here, man, because there's a lot of content I'm going to be bringing you over the next month or so. There's going to be like double upload days because there's just so much to talk about when it comes to the market and with the game as well. So first thing I want to show you guys is the objectives and the SBCs we got today. So we got Axel Witsel, and he's actually really affordable. And remember what I told you guys yesterday in the video? I said the 2 Friday SBCs already have been really affordable. We had Ndidi first, and then we had Saul. Both came in around 150 to 185k. This guy is coming in at about 120, 110. And with all of the red picks that people have now, and we got double red picks yesterday, as you saw in my video, these SBCs are becoming very cheap for people to do, just to have them in the club. Almost like a card collecting game, right? That's pretty much what this is now. So what people are doing, I mean, they're doing this SBC for 20 to 30,000 coins, maybe max. And that is why you might have saw a lot of Bundesliga like midfielders maybe drop a little bit today. And for example, there's one guy that I want to also talk about with the Sabitzer objective that we did get. I recommended an investment yesterday, and that was Thiago. Now, a few things happened with Thiago that I could not control, unfortunately. Sabitzer came in as a center midfielder, which obviously is like literally a direct hit to Thiago. And the same thing with Witsel, right? Even though Witsel's a CDM, people still use Thiago in the CDM, the center mid position, and you can use Witsel in that same position. So the fact that these two guys are pretty, I would say pretty attainable. I mean, 8 separate rivals wins using Bundesliga players with minimum 4-star weak foot, assists with a through ball, and 4 separate rivals matches using players with 3-star skill moves. So you can kind of compile a team together with players that have 3-star skill moves and 4-star weak foot, which isn't that hard to find in this game. And then you can assist in 3 separate rivals wins, separate rivals matches using Austrian players. Now, what ended up happening is his scream card actually went up a lot today. He went from 15,000 coins all the way to 35. And then scoring outside the box goal in 2 separate rivals matches using midfielders with minimum 80 shot power. So you can literally get every single objective done within 8 matches, pretty much. 8 to 10 games. So that's pretty attainable for people over the week. Now, what we saw, and that's why Thiago went down today. In my opinion, that is the reason why. There could have been a little bit of overinvestment in him as well as Mukiele, which we have to touch upon as well. Those are the 2 investments that out of the whole video didn't really do too well yesterday, but a lot of other things did well. This one we really couldn't, you know, we really couldn't do anything about it. It's EA. I wish I had leaks, because if I had leaks, I could just tell you guys to buy certain cards that I know would never drop. So unfortunately today they did kind of cuck us with the midfield and, you know, the midfield investment, but that's what happens. That's the risk of doing investments as well on this game, because EA have full control over their market, as you've seen over the whole year. So that's pretty much what we got from objectives. We also got this DeRulzing guy. He looks pretty good as well. I score using Ajax players and assist using Man City players on 2 separate squad battles. So every single week we're getting a squad battle objective. We're also getting a rivals objective, which I think is a good balance from EA, because it allows people to, you know, pick and choose what they want to do. Do they want to do the rivals objectives, or do they want to do the squad battle objectives? So I thought that was pretty good from EA. Obviously, we still have the Regulon that is still here from the 6 days. So that's pretty much what we got in terms of content today. Now, the team itself, let me go show you guys the team. There's a lot to talk about in this video, man. There's a lot of investments. There's a lot of things talking around the market that we need to get through. So this is the team that we got. Now, a lot of these players have actually fallen down a lot, and that is due to the supply that they've had. Like, for example, I mean, this Holland right now, like, literally, I was looking at him a little while ago. He was like 1.3 million. He is now down 170,000 coins. With the Dortmund players in particular, I wouldn't be surprised when it comes to 6 p.m. UK. sometimes those cards get sold off a little bit. And because Dortmund is playing today against Schalke, people sometimes on this game, if a team has a good performance or a player in particular has a good performance, you see that player rise because people want to use the card because they just saw how good of a performance. So all eyes tomorrow will be on the Bundesliga. How are they going to cope with all of the restrictions that obviously have to happen because of COVID-19? So I would not be surprised if you might have seen a few of the Dortmund players going up in price tomorrow night, because people are still playing weekend league. There might not be that much supply from people opening up Saturday's lightning rounds because, you know, obviously Friday is the time when everyone opens lightning rounds. Saturday, not so much, but there is still supply coming on the market. So let's see what happens with the Dortmund players tomorrow. Obviously, this is the team. The standout players obviously are Lewandowski, Haaland, Royce, Kimmich, Werner, Sancho, Havertz, and, you know, pretty much these three on the bench as well. Everything else is pretty much fodder. Now, I know what you guys are going to get in your red picks. It's going to be Hideki, this guy, Serter, and Hinteregger. So, unfortunately, the bottom tier isn't that great. I think the team overall, as a whole, is not bad, but and they got pretty much juiced out stats. But the problem with some of these players, like Kimmich and Sancho in particular, I think they have bad work rates. Sancho's work rates is low defensive and medium attacking. And then I think with the CDM Kimmich, who is usable, he's a 4-star weak foot, but he does have low-high work rates. So that's going to kind of be a little bit of an issue as a midfielder, having low defensive work rates. But we move through that, right? If you guys do get Elite this weekend, you do want to get one of the starting 11 besides Sommer as your fun player. Anything over that, if you can make about 500k from rewards this Thursday, I think you guys should be pretty happy with that if you are an Elite Plus player. This Alphonso Davies is pretty interesting to me. He has 550k on the market. He is extinct. He's been extinct for a while, and usually by this time, EA would really sort out this issue of a player being extinct. Now, it's pretty interesting to me that they haven't yet. So they're pretty much like foreshadowing that they don't expect this card to really be 550. So if you do have this card, man, and you don't see a rise or you don't see a price range update in the next 12 hours, I might say to take the coins on that, because what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to grow in frustration and they're going to sell the card out along with the amount of supply that's going to come on. I think you're going to see this card get pretty ugly over the next 12 hours if we don't see a price range update. Now, if we do see a price range update, you guys got to get out quick, whether that be 750, whether that be a mil, whatever they decide to do. I think you guys want to make sure you undercut good enough to the point where you take the coins when you see it. Make sure before you try to get greedy. Never get greedy when it comes to making coins on a card. If the price range on this is 750 and you're seeing, 700, 680, 675 come up, maybe you undercut at 630 to get the quick deal on that. And then maybe because of all the people that have invested in the card, now they're starting to make the card drop again. We saw that last week with the Damatroris, or 2 weeks ago, where the card was extinct at 600. He went to 700, and people tried listing up for 720 and actually got burned on the card because the amount of investors and oversupply that he had gotten made him drop to like 450k on the first day. So that is the risk that you guys take when this happens, because you're banking on EA to update the price range. And just don't get greedy is one of my tips to you guys. Just, I would take the coins when you see it, undercut enough to the point where you can make some coins on it. If you're making 50, 60k on a card, I think that's pretty good value. So 630, 620, if that is what's happening, make sure you guys are like looking in the market when this stuff happens. Make sure you're ready to go. This is gonna be a long video, by the way, I think, because we're talking about many different things. Now, why did Mukiele go down today? The reason why Mukiele went down today, in my opinion, is because this guy was cheap, and also because the rest of the center back market really isn't doing that well right now. I mean, I was looking at Varane, Ramos, Diego Carlos. Any of those cards are really just not doing good at the moment, and that has to do, in my opinion, with more and more people doing Militao. The more people that pack fodders, that pack high-rated team scenes that they're not going to use anymore, now they're pretty much going and doing Militao. That's their number one priority right now, is to do Militao, whether they play them at right back or at center back. So, in my opinion, I don't think you're going to see Mukiele really go up over the next few days, but maybe on Tuesday, if he does hit that low point, you may see that go up on Thursday. Same with Thiago as well. And the reason why I'll say that with Thiago is because we saw it last week, and I'm gonna show you guys today. Lodi, right? This was a card that got affected by Regulon, a left back Spanish objective. He went down on May 8th, 7 days ago, from 213, went all the way down at his lowest at 121. Lowest he was on Tuesday. Make sure you put a date to yourself. Tuesday and Monday, I think are going to be some decent days to get in on some cards, for some Thursday investments, especially Bundesliga specials, which we'll touch upon in tomorrow and in Sunday's videos. And then he went up again. So he went down to 121, but then he went right back to 160 by the Friday. So you're really seeing like a rebound on this card on that Thursday. So if people weren't doing the regular objective, now they're really going and buying this card right back up. So Thiago could be somebody that hits a low on Tuesday, and maybe you can buy him up because he might go up. He gets links to Spanish players, and he gets links obviously to other Bayern players as well. Unreal that EA brought out 2 midfielders again for objectives. Can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. Mukiele again, I think could rise. I mean, we saw last week that Ramos and Varane, both of their cards, they did rise, mostly because they did have team of the seasons already. So they were really, they were just really like expensive. So the people went and bought the previous specials back up. So they hit a low on the Wednesday at 265, but then rebounded back to 300 by the Thursday night for this Ramos card. So, you know, we could see a rebound on the Mukiele. He did go down today. If I show you guys right now, Mukiele, he's about 265, and he went down from 300. There was also a little bit of overinvestment in this card, and I probably should have seen that because he did go from 270 on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, and then he went up to about 300, 310 before the promo came out. So multiple factors was the reason why that card dropped as well. I just had to clarify that for you guys as to why maybe he is not up as you guys might think. There's a lot of different things why that card dropped. Now, what did work yesterday, and we touched upon a bunch of different things in the videos. I told you guys to buy players that already are getting high-tier team of the season cards, and this always works. So Timo Werner's 88 inform actually did really well today in terms of return on investment. He won from when we were in the video, I believe he was 94,000 coins in the video, and he went up all the way to 115 and even hit 120 a few hours back. That was a good return on investment card. And the same happened with Lewandowski's headliner. He went up from 545k when we were looking at the video, and he's up at 615 pretty much right now. So you're going to see these cards continue to rise, in my opinion. And I would not be surprised, though, if Lewandowski on the Sunday when Bayern do play, if he does score a goal or two, some people may buy into the headliner card. I've seen dumber things happen. But the reason for that is because maybe people don't understand that it's done. Like, there's no more team weeks unless there's multiple leagues playing again. But you could see somebody like Lewandowski go up again. I do think you're going to see him keep rising because Lewandowski's 99 card is 3 million coins. So, in my opinion, that headliner is the next cheapest one, and that's just going to continue to go up until next Thursday, in my opinion. Same with the Timo Werner. If you see any dips on those cards, whether it be Sunday sell-off or maybe on Monday or Tuesday with the guaranteed SBC, I would recommend picking those cards up because those are one of the better investments for Thursday. Now, there's other... So, remember that Cunha card from Winter Refresh? He also did really good, and he's going to continue to rise, in my opinion. The reason why is because remember, we always talk about positions of weakness, right? So, you know, Gerard Piqué's team of the season card went up a lot during La Liga team of the season, and that was because, you know, Ramos, Diego Carlos, and Varane were all over 1 million coins at the time. So there was no real cheap option for people to turn to when they wanted to link up other La Liga team of the season. So, you know, this card in particular, he went from like 99,000 coins all the way up to 115 pretty much. And the reason for that is because there's no real in-between striker that we're getting. This guy does not look good. He's going to pretty much be fodder. And then the strikers we did get, Haaland, Lewandowski. 2 really expensive strikers. We saw this again last week as well with Inaki Williams. Inaki Williams, I believe, went up maybe because of the objective too, but also because there was no high-tier strikers in La Liga. So he went up in price. That is... Oh, and Werner as well is here as well. That is what you guys can expect. So, you know, maybe on the Friday of Team of the Season for Serie A next week, maybe you guys look at a few cards that may have, like, maybe, for example, like left backs, right? If they don't have that many left backs that come out, maybe you look at left backs. You know, that's something to look at. Now, because Alphonso Davies is extinct, what ended up happening today is that Nico Schulz went up a really good amount. He gets a lot of links to people, and because he was the only left back that people really wanted to get, so he went up a good amount. He went to about 120k from 87. He had a high rise today, and that is obviously due to there not being that many left backs, and nobody can use Alphonso Davies if they don't have them, if there's none on the market. So that's the reason why he went up a little bit today, and that's the kind of market movements that you want to be looking at a lot. Obviously the market in general right now is kind of like up a little bit. I think if you look at the index 100, it says it's down 4%, which, I mean, to be honest, I don't think it's down this much right now. I think it's a little lying right now. If we look at icons, have they rebounded a bit? They have rebounded a little bit, but to be honest, they didn't. Icons, again, just aren't doing very well. And the special card market, I believe, is up a little bit. Yeah, it's up to 90 points, which earlier today, if you look at the hourly graph yesterday, they hit 92.7, went down to 87, and now it's back up to about 90.08. So, you know, the market, I think, is going to start to see a sell-off probably around 7 to 8 p.m. UK time. That's when you're going to start to see a little bit of sell-off. People finishing their games, playing the goal 3, goal 2. You know, you guys know the deal. So look out for any selling on any Bundesliga specials that, you know, maybe going lower because of the weekend league sell-off. I would really take a look at a few cards for this Thursday. We're going to talk about that in a video tomorrow night as well. So certain cards you guys can be looking at. Now, the cards that did really well today were cards that went out of packs as well. This was easy calls. You know, this Hummels card, you know, he was 26,000 coins when we looked yesterday, 25, 26. And he then hit 30k today when the market had, like, everyone on it. So that's good to see. That's going to continue to rise into the Bundesliga guarantee. I would take the coins before the SBC comes out, most likely. Other cards, for example, let me see. So we can look at some rare cards that went up. I believe Sancho went up. These are just the easiest calls, man. We're going to do the same thing during Serie A Team of the Season. These are just easy calls. Sancho went to 7k from, you know, 5.5 on Thursday. Gnabry also went up from like 5k all the way to 7. I think he's at 7 right now. And this is just a general trend you're going to see for every team this season. When cards go out of packs, and this is something you guys can learn from in any team of the week, actually. Any team of the week, any promo that we do get, if a player is getting in, their gold card will go up because they not only fit in 2 requirements. People's teams during the year, you know, if it's a gold meta card, or an SBC fodder, and cards that people need for SBC. So, for example, Gnabry, if people want to use, you know, a solution to get Witsel, well, they're going to have to get Gnabry if they want a Bundesliga player, and some links there as well. So, it's just easy investments right here. The last thing, oh, and by the way, before we talk about the rares, these cards should keep dropping, and we saw a few cards actually go up today from La Liga Team of the Season. A couple of cards that I was really like, I liked, was Carvajal was one of them, because just he was the only right back, and there's only one other right back realistically in that league. It's Semedo Team of the Season, or not Semedo's Team of the Season, Semedo's headliner, and then you also have Emerson and those kind of cards, and Florenzi. Fekir went up a little bit today. Suarez went up. Messi went up. De Jong went up as well. Cruz went up a little bit, but these 2 center backs, and all 3 actually, to be fair, are all down in price, and that is due to, I believe, Militao. With just the center backs in general, they just keep dropping, and that's because everyone is making sure that they go and do Militao's SBC, especially because during Team of the Season, SBC fodders, you know, they're not really required as much because everyone has these red picks, these high-rated Team of the Seasons. People obviously got extra red picks yesterday, gold 2 and higher, so, you know, people have high rates to go and do SBCs now. Now, the last thing I want to touch on in this video is the Bundesliga rares. Now, a lot of these Bundesliga rares are 1.4 to 1.5k. And I even see people doing Ligue 1 rares. So if we go take a look right now at leagues, you know, Ligue 1 also has, you know, pretty much almost 1,000 coins a card right now. Besides Kalinic here, every card is about 1.1k, and this is because people are investing early enough to the point where they know that these cards are going to go up with SBC. So in my opinion, if we see Bundesliga rares go to 1.7 and 1.8, even maybe possibly 1.9 at 2k by Sunday night, that could be something that you might see actually drop or stagnate on the Monday. Because here's two things, the reason why. EA have done different SBCs each Monday. We first had the 4 rare player pack from the Premier League. Last week we had the 82 plus double. Now they've required those rares for each one, but what if EA know that people are doing this now and they just require something different? What if they just require 11 rares? What if they don't do anything on the Monday? What if they just do normal 81 plus SBCs? So that is why if you are buying those cards to make a profit, that might be something you take the coins on before the SBC comes out on Monday because of the overinvestment. If you're buying them for the SBC itself and you listen to me and you said, you know, how much do I buy the cards for? I tell you like 1.1 and under. You're already making coins on the card and they're not going to go back down to 1.1, in my opinion, as long as that requirement is still there. But you may see them stagnate. You might not see them go up from where you're buying them. So if I were you guys, do not buy 1.5 and higher. I would really stress that enough. Do not buy. I have a bad feeling that I just don't see them going to go up that much more. If they do, you sell in the hype if you're trying to make coins. If you're trying to use them for the SBC itself, then you just use them for the SBC and you paid pretty much a smaller price than everyone else did. Other than that, I think that's it for the market. I would expect some of these Bundesliga teams to kind of rise into the morning if people want to use them for their teams, because people obviously are waking up. There's demand, there's less supply because of the lightning rounds. I would not be surprised if we saw some cards do that. Be careful with this Alphonso Davies as well, like I told you guys what to do. Thank you guys for watching today. It's a long video, I do apologize, but I wanted to get a lot of things out there for you guys. Thanks for watching today. Appreciate it. Comment, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll talk to you guys in a video soon. Peace out.